What if I told you that Brazilian Counter-Strike's next breakout success, the next Colten, the dude who is slated to bring MIBR back to the promised land, couldn't actually compete in any Valve-sponsored events? Why? Because he was convicted of cheating when he was 13.
This is a test of the emergency Dimitri fail system.
Oh, hey, I almost missed you. If you're seeing this clip, it's because Dimitri really f***ed up and didn't promote theScore Esports Awards, streaming live this Friday, December 11th on our YouTube and Twitch channels, live at 5 p.m. Listen, 2020 has been a strange one for esports, but it still gave us plenty of incredible plays and great moments that we'll remember forever. So come hang out with us in the chat as we hand out some hardware and celebrate the greatness of esports in 2020. By the way, Dimitri, I was really hard at work at something. Having to film this has disrupted my schedule, so I got something for you too, bud.
Okay, so if you're at all plugged into the world of CSGO, then you've probably noticed that a certain hashtag has been trending for the past few weeks. From casters to competitors to community figures to fellow convicts, it seems as if everyone in Counter-Strike is saying the same thing.
Free VSM. Free VSM, man.
So who the hell is this guy, and why is the CS community so taken with it? Well, he's Vinicius VSM Moreira, the 20-year-old Brazilian who spent the past month or so single-handedly bringing MIBR back from the dead. Get it? Because their coach, Dead, was found guilty of cheating and they lost all their major points as a result? I think it's funny. Anyway, so this should be good news, right? For those who don't know, MIBR have been down on their luck for quite some time, and about 3 months ago, they hit rock bottom and decided to clean house as a result. Hellbent on revitalizing their good name, MIBR replaced their legends of yesteryear, Fallen, Taco, and Fur, with a whole new host of names. Some old, some new. The crazy thing is that on the back of VSM's ridiculous playmaking, they're performing way above expectation.
And now he's gonna get aggressed upon, but they give him a chance to clutch. Oh, he gets all lined up, and now it's just half health for Olaf. He's run out from tunnel, and it gets shut down. MIBR aren't stopping.
He can't be stopped. VSM continuously putting up these clutch plays.
Brazil should be over the moon, but they're not. Because VSM is VAC banned. Now, for those who didn't watch our Don't At Me on Crims, VAC stands for Valve Anti-Cheat. The official anti-cheat that's done pretty much nothing to stop hackers of various sorts from dominating FPSs such as Counter-Strike for the better part of 2 decades. VAC is, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst anti-cheat in the known universe, mostly because of how old it and CS's engine actually are. For context, there are 1.6 cheats that theoretically should still work and go. They'd get caught, like, immediately, but as far as I know, they'd work. It's also unintrusive, which means unlike Facet's, ESEA's, and Valorant's anti-cheats, it doesn't dig itself into every nook and cranny of your computer. This means that the only cheats that VAC is capable of reliably detecting are the so-called free cheats. The ones you get when you're a stupid 13-year-old who types CSGO wall hacks into Google and downloads the first thing you see. Now, I can only assume that those are the kinds of cheats that VSM was using when he ate an automatic VAC ban back in 2013. Why? Because he actually was 13. After bursting onto the scene in 2017 at the age of 19, VSM was immediately declared to be his region's next hot commodity. Comparisons were quickly drawn between him and Colten, and in 2018, he signed to Daytona Gaming, and that's when he really blew up.
Polêmicos mais badalados do momento, vamos ver. A primeira bala é sensacional. Vem incendiária na direção do bombe. Essa HE pode fechar o serviço pra cima do Jeff. Muito miado, vira carvão. É 1 contra 1. VSM já vai fazendo seu estrago. E agora uma bala sensacional.
The issue is that come November, ESL discovered something. A VAC ban on an account that had allegedly belonged to VSM when he was but a preteen. Now, ESL chose not to punish him for it, presumably because of how young he'd been when he committed the offense. Valve, on the other hand, did what they always do to anyone who they deem to be guilty of cheating. Ban them from competing at any and all Valve-sponsored events, including the majors. Needless to say, Valve takes VAC bans very seriously. If determined to be legit, these bans are permanent and non-negotiable. This ain't no 2-year ESL ban. VAC is for life. If you get slapped with one and it's sound, your career is legitimately over. Valve will not even entertain an excuse. Now, to be fair, if you're a 24-year-old who's contracted to a world-class roster, a lifetime ban, while admittedly harsh, isn't that unreasonable. It's safe to say you should have known better. Take Cali, for instance, the French opper who ate a VAC ban in 2014 just weeks before he was supposed to play at a major. Then again, if you're someone like Yampi, whose account got VAC'd back in 2015, when, as he alleges, he wasn't even playing on it, this whole lifetime ban with no appeal thing doesn't feel especially fair or fruitful. Needless to say, Valve's black and white approach to disciplining cheaters has definitely sparked some debate over the years. Everyone knows the story of the iBuyPower boys, whose fabled match-fixing scandal rocked North American Counter-Strike to its very core. For years, the community pleaded with Valve to unban Brax and his poor, repentant compatriots, all to no avail. Things got so bad that they had to switch to Valorant. Poor bastards. So what makes VSM's case different from all the other ones that Valve has refused to budge on? Well, assuming that the ban is legit, and to my knowledge, VSM has never denied owning the account in question, he wouldn't have just been a non-professional at the time of his offense. He would have been a literal child. Unfortunately for VSM, I don't think Valve cares what age he was. If history is any indication of what's to come, the very fact that VSM had any association with that account whatsoever is enough to do him in for good. Yampi tried to claim that his account was banned at a time when he wasn't even playing on it. He took them to fucking court over it, and still, they wouldn't listen. Valve has never, ever budged on this kind of thing. And it's hard to imagine why they would now. Remember, if they all of a sudden make an exception for VSM, that would open up the floodgates for all of the other cheaters they've blacklisted over the years. If VSM walks free, why not Yampi? Why not Brax or the rest of the iBuyPower guys? Where does Valve draw the line? And while I may not agree with Valve's absurdly stubborn approach, cases such as VSM's do offer a very valuable lesson for kids who are still coming up. If you are at all serious about esports, please don't ever cheat. Ever. Even if it's just for fun. It can and will catch up with you. Anyway, it sucks to say, but I don't think the ban is going to be reversed anytime soon. Should it be? I think so. Will it? Given what we know about Valve's ethics policies, it seems extremely unlikely. Still, here's to hoping that by some miracle, Valve does decide to unban him. VSM is an absolute animal and deserves to represent his region at the absolute highest level of play. So, for what it's worth, #FreeVSM. It's so crazy what needs to be considered like competitive for a map in CSGO. Like Anubis is a map in CS, and it's been in like the scrimmage rotation unranked in CS. Like you can play it in the game for like forever, and like they still haven't taken Mirage out of the pool or Inferno out of the pool and just put in Anubis. Everybody whines. Like everybody whines. As soon as you take a map that's out of the pool that's like a real CSGO map, it's like people just go crazy. Like people in CS have severe Stockholm syndrome, and they really don't like change. If you change they've become so used to the fact that that Daddy doesn't love them, that if Daddy comes along and shows them like the little bit of love, they're just like, no, I don't want it. Like, no, that's bad. That's stupid. Stupid. And it's frustrating as hell, dude. Coming from other esports, like being familiar with how other esports run, it is immensely frustrating.